Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked, because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near you, your dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation.
And we want to welcome all of His Glory Nation from east to west to north to south. Welcome to the War Report. Happy Wednesday. It's Hump Day. We're coming off the heels of President Trump addressing both houses of Congress, and that was a really good speech. Some people hope that he was going to drop some bombs about maybe removing us out of NATO, but there's a lot of procedures going on behind the scenes. It sounds like Zelensky, well, he did. President Trump read the letter that Zelensky sent, that he's willing to come back, apologize, and also sign the mineral agreement. So we shall see if that happens. It kind of put NATO on their toes, so we'll let that play out. Not a lot about gold, but with that, he did say gold age. We know that's coming. This Friday is going to be a major event to watch. We had an interview today with Dr. Kurt Elliott about crypto, silver, and gold, how that is going to be a part of everybody, going to need to be a part of everybody's portfolio going forward. And that is a way that he's going to flip the economy back from banks and what we're currently doing. So we'll stay tuned for that. But I was very upbeat and positive. A lot of reports. There was a poll on CNN that 80% of the people on CNN thought the Democrats handled it very badly. That's a good sign. And there was also a CBS poll. I think 76% of Americans. Again, these are CNN and CBS polls, not necessarily friends of President Trump. 76% of America on the CBS poll said that it was very positive. All right. So he did say 3 times in his speech that we're going to have a little bit of a hiccup, not a hiccup, but it's not going to go completely smooth. He's got to get through all the stuff that he's inheriting from Joe Biden, get the tariffs through, get the tax cuts through, get the manufacturing going. You just don't snap your finger and say, bring businesses back, and then the next day the businesses are bringing in money. It's going to take some time. There's going to be some initial shock on some of these tariffs, but he's going to get us through that. So we got just the next 6 months. 6 months from now, we'll be in much better shape. We just have to power along. Trust the Lord in all things, because we are going to see things in our lifetime that we've never seen before. Maybe even in the history of the world. It's truly the greatest time in the history of the world to be alive. Do you want to be a part of it? Do you want to be a part of the billion soul harvest? That's what we are called upon for such a time as this.
Thanks for having me back, Pastor Dave. And actually, my first time here at the War Report. What a blessing and a pleasure to be here. Thank you. It's all about, like you've talked about this. I was watching you for a few minutes earlier. You're talking about all the things that are going on financially, and it's always been about what's written scripturally. The love of money is the root of all evil. So why does Zelensky want the war to continue? Because he wants to be funded financially. What do they use to fund the war? Money created out of thin air. The federal, not federal reserves. There are no reserves. Note, okay? This financial system is made out of thin air. We went from in the 70s to now we were in the millions in the 70s. We're in the quadrillions now, which is like so many zeros we can't even fathom. All these zeros were created out of thin air. When Zelensky gets money, it's not alone, because then he funnels the money back to the politicians to fund their pockets, right? And so all of this is about money that goes to Hollywood, the music industry, the Epstein stuff, all these things that they're not letting to be released with the current data batch that they're trying to hold back right now. Everything is about holding the information back because it all leads to the money. And the money, if you follow the money trails, it exposes everything. So this goes to Washington, D.C., to New York. This is all about the money. And that's why yesterday it was crazy to watch these people on the left. Literally, Trump couldn't say one thing that can get them to smile. So here's the deal. The U.S. dollar has to crash. It has to lose its status as a world reserve currency. It has to lose its strength and value, because then no one's going to want it globally. And then it's a game changer right around the world. And this is what that's going to usher in what you and I have talked about, what you've heard, where Trump brings in the new gold standard. He brings in cryptocurrencies. He just announced that with XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So the United States will be the global capital for finance with regards to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. He just posted that on Truth, okay? You and I have been talking about that for 2 years already, okay? Right. Cha-ching, another one we got right. Now, why this is so important, because if the Federal Reserve doesn't go down or become they're not going to disappear. They're going to become unimportant. When they become unimportant, everything Trump pushes is going to be a whole new paradigm. You referenced earlier a birth of a new era. That's correct. The new era is birth. Calculations are indicating to this 4th of July, which means between today and the 4th of July, people, fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be the show of a lifetime, okay? It starts with March. The U.S. dollar, right now, the cycle that God showed me is a crash into Purim. So the U.S. dollar crashes into Perm. It drops sharply here next week, okay? Which means, again, what happened? Because the dollar is faith and confidence. So if the dollar crashes, the question is, what happened in faith and confidence in the dollar that caused it to crash? You got to ask that question. So a dollar crash is coming in the month of March. That will lead to a gold spike. So people are like, hey, gold's at 2,900, time to sell because of great profits. Oh, people, you haven't seen anything yet, okay? The first move is going to take gold from 3,000 to 4,000 in probably a single day. And that just starts the greatest bull market in human history. Kim Clement had a prophecy about he had a prophecy. He had gold cufflinks on. He said, watch the gold. And then following that leads into the April, which God releases the key of David to unlock the treasure chest that's been locked for generations, for thousands of years. So this takes me to here's a bunch of ifs, but I'm telling you, this is going to be awesome. So if the dollar crashes here in March, and I believe it will, that's going to trigger a gold spike and silver spike. When I say gold, I mean silver too. That triggers a gold-silver spike in March. It's going to happen. This is what we've been waiting for, okay? Now, if that event happens, that fulfills the Kim Clement prophecy, the first half of it, of watching the gold. Because then he said, between the 70th and 100th day, the spirit of Pythos is destroyed in America. Well, that's the bondage on the financial system, on humanity that's been placed on this world, which means that in the month of April, Pythos is destroyed. And then we've got 5 prophets that I can reference, all have referenced the angel of death. And as a pastor, you specifically know, if you study scriptures, you might know the future. Okay, well, what does scriptures tell us? Nisan 17, which is the middle of April, is the time point for the angel of death. It happened with Pharaoh, firstborn of all of Egypt. The 185,000 Assyrian soldiers were killed on Nisan 15. The writing on the wall, Mene Mene Tekel Upharsin, happened on Nisan 15. And this is a very special year because this year, Passover and Resurrection Sunday end on the same day. Kim Clement had a prophecy of two clocks come together and they meet. This is the only year that I've been able to see where the Passover and Resurrection Sunday meet on the same day. Very interesting time point, and that resurrection would be April 20th. And if you've studied what I've learned, that's the 4-2-1. The next day is April 21st. So I just going to say, financially, you're asking about the finances. We're looking for a financial crash in the U.S. dollar, which causes precious metals to explode vertical, but have an awesome first move. That first move is expected here in March, which then triggers a fulfillment of the Kim Clement prophecy of the key of David that unlocks a treasure chest. In other words, opens a door or doors that no man in the history of the world has ever opened. But it opens here in April, which would be resurrection. And then that leads us into the birth of a new era as we step into the 4th of July. So these next few months are going to be wild. I believe Barry Winch had a prophecy as well, too, just the other day about March is going to be a month the world's never going to forget.
Yep.
Well, if March is going to be a month the world's never going to forget, April is going to be greater than that, because if an angel of death, if a Nisan 15 event happens, regardless of what these people try to do here in March to not let the Epstein files come out or any of this information come out, regardless of what they do, because March is a month of war, regardless of what they do, if the prophecy is true, no man can stop what's coming in April by the hand of God.
Amen. And this message, you've been talking about March being on fire, on Take 5 for a while now. And I don't think you knew about what President Trump was doing with crypto. He's going to have a major meeting on Friday. And he's moving quicker and quicker in crypto than I ever thought he would. I just had an analyst, economic analyst on this morning, and he said exactly what you just said. And he's not even tied into the prophecies. He said, April, expect things to go crazy upwards. So it's right on the same.
We're so close to all this happening.
So what we've got 40 seconds left of this segment of finance. What would you tell people to do to prepare, because the banks are in deep trouble?
When the event goes down, we've said before, okay, you're not going to be able to locate silver. Gold is going to be hard to get. Silver is going to be near impossible to purchase. So, again, I don't want to tell people what to buy. I'm just telling you that Pastor Dave and myself, we've been buying silver for a long time now. Why? Because we know something's about to happen. Haggai 2:8 says, the silver and the gold are mine, saith the Lord. God will not be stopped. These people are mocking God. God's about to intervene on the world. And if you've got his money, gold and silver, it's going to be biblical, the prices that are coming.
Yep. Bo, thank you. I'm going to be with Robert Kiyosaki tomorrow.
Beverly Hills Precious Metals Exchange is a client-focused firm devoted to assisting our clients with precious metals. Our clients range from first-time to serious coin collectors and investors seeking to add precious metals to their investment portfolios. We are not interested in volatile investments, leveraged products, and intangible assets. With rising inflation and the devaluing of the dollar hurting middle-class families, investing in gold and silver ensures protection for your hard-earned money. Save the value of your money today by investing in gold and silver at Beverly Hills Precious Metals.